So yeah, jumping into the first topic, and that's PS5, Xbox Series X power substantially greater than existing consoles, EA says. Maybe the PS5 and Xbox Series X are even more powerful than we first thought. Yeah, we've talked quite a bit actually about power of late. Yeah. Now, this article tends to say that it will blow people's minds. Now, I mean, not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, because part of me agrees with you and thinks it's diminishing returns, isn't it? In terms of, it doesn't feel like the leap from, I think the biggest leap I can remember, I don't know what it used to is, from PS2 to like 360, PS3. That leap was massive.
Mate, remember playing Gears for the first time?
Gears of War.
Exactly.
Compared to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of someone on PS2 that was really, like, even GTA like 3 or Vice City, they don't look good, do they?
No.
There's probably way worse examples. I'm just trying to think of, like, if you compare that to Gears of War, it's night and day.
Oh, man, I remember playing Gears and sometimes just literally standing and looking at the scenery and thinking, God, how good does this game look?
That's what people used to do back in the day. They'd like stare at the water or like shoot bullets into the wall and be like, oh my God, the wall chips. It's great.
Even like Halo 3, when games like they did look way better than what was on PS2. But I think from PS3 to PS4, there's a difference, obviously. The difference hasn't been as great.
No,
it really?
It doesn't feel that way, but maybe if we look back, then,
that's the thing.
Early days.
I think the graphics now, if you compared them to PS3, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's a big difference.
I did see a video actually on YouTube, and I can't for the life of me remember who it was, but they did speak about how this jump will be the smallest yet, because it's going to be really hard to tell. There will be some people who'll be like, oh yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. I mean, I assume they tend to disagree, obviously,
Well, EA,
unless they're just saying it for hype purposes to get everyone to be like, go on, buy the new FIFA or buy the new Battlefield on the new console.
This was during their fiscal 2020 Q3, so an investment meeting. They're going to probably hype things up for the next
investors. People buying the shares.
I also feel like they're probably taught more from like a development standpoint. Like the tech that they have access to is probably blowing their minds. It's probably a lot more, I think, spacious for them to work with, and they have a lot more opportunities to push the boundaries internally. But that might not transition to the screen like what we actually see. But I guess time will tell.
Well, we haven't really
from the gamer's point of view rather than the devs.
We haven't seen any next gen stuff though, have we? So we can't really say yet. We've not seen a proper next gen game. We've seen bits. We've seen we saw that Hellblade trailer. Was it even? I assume that's how it looked.
Yeah, but that doesn't even I don't count that as next gen because it's good.
No, but what I'm saying is, but.
To be honest, I won't class something as next gen until it's like an exclusive, like a PS5 exclusive, and then I'll say like, wow, like that's the difference, or I'll say like, well, it doesn't.
Well, that was it like Godfall game?
Yeah, Godfall.
That didn't look very good at all, but I've heard that apparently that wasn't even running on a PS5 or something, or it was like an early. What do they call it? An early build.
Yeah, more often than not, though, the things you see early are on PCs anyway. More often than not, the things you see at shows are on PCs because
until we see like the PS5 reveal event or E3 with Xbox, until we see a next gen game actually running on the PS5.
That's only when we can judge, really, isn't it?
I think a lot of it is going to be, rather than graphics, I think a lot of it, what they're talking about, is going to be other areas like more enemies on screen, greater things happening on screen,
bigger maps.
Solid frame rates
that's a problem.
Like
that's kind of worrying though, isn't it? The map's already quite big, and a lot of games make them scarce. So.
Although it would be nice for a game like Skyrim, like you think big maps, but say if it was just the same size map as Skyrim, but there was just more in it, more alive. That's what we want from games like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what they're talking about. You'd hope, wouldn't you? Like, do you remember Dead Rising 3 when they built?
Don't talk about Dead Rising.
I'm gonna mention games. Sorry, whoever, I know.
Think of a new example right now.
Well, Dead Rising 3 is the best time I can think of a game where I remember before.
Dead Rising 3 is the best game you've ever played?
Definitely not. Just definitely not. It was a decent game. It was like a 6, 7 out of 10, but it certainly wasn't.
I'm just saying what the comments are going to say.
Yeah, probably. But,
continue with your.
By the way, can I just say quickly, that Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy is my favourite game of all time. So people saying that the show's not represented by Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it was only us two said we couldn't get into it, and we also said we understand that people love it.
Yeah,
pretty much what I said about PUBG, but in a way more different way than that.
Just to address,
Final Fantasy more credit.
Just to address the fact that we apparently hate Final Fantasy, that we don't hate it.
Well, some people thought we were comparing Final Fantasy and Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising, and that never happened. But
anyway, going back on topic. So, do you remember before it came out, they were going, all these zombies you see on screen and like all these explosions, and it was like, it kind of was, wasn't it? If you remember, you wouldn't have got that on the previous gen. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as impressive as they said.
I know
but
what
it was
you
still
mean.
Like, you go back to Dead Rising 3, there was a lot of zombies on screen for the time.
Yeah.
And yet I'm hoping that's a similar what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. They're just going to be different advances. Graphics, they will be a bit better, won't they? We know they will. They'll be more refined. But I'm just hoping it's more in the technology side. Mm-hmm. Frame rate, especially, as well, is a big thing that people want now, isn't it?
Well, on that example, like, say for example, you drove like a truck or like threw an explosive into like a horde of 1,000 zombies, however many were stood in front of you. Straight away, what happened? Frame rate dropped.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Unless it was a miracle. So yeah, if you can hit what I'm going to say is going to be a solid 60 FPS with no drops on pretty much most next gen games, if we're going to talk about them like that, I want to see that. Like, I don't want to see 60 FPS drop into like 4 FPS. I want it to be consistent.
Well, you'd assume the technology now, like Sud's alluding to, would be advanced, that shouldn't happen anymore.
Like, that's the big change for me, rather than like the graphical advancements, like solid frame rates, faster loading times with the SSDs now instead. All that kind of thing will be noticeable, rather than, I'm not saying some games won't look better, but I don't really remember the last time I stopped playing a game and sat there and was like, wow, look at the graphics. I can appreciate good graphics. Some games are better than others.
Yeah.
But
you
nothing to blow me away.
notice more games now that when their graphics aren't up to par.
PUBG.
PUBG. You do.
I was going to say,
that happens more often than the other way around now.
Yeah.
Can you guys actually remember? I'm trying to remember now in my head, what was the last game where I was like, wow, these graphics were like, I'm trying to think.
You know what? Even though they weren't great, I just loved the city. So I'm going to say New York on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, no, I understand that.
It's not like, it was mind-blowing, but it was just when you were going through the city, it was like, this feels vibrant, it feels alive.
You got on the Pro as well, didn't you? So it probably looked even better.
Mm.
I'm trying to think, like Red Dead 2 looked pretty good. It's the style of graphics on Red Dead 2 that makes it.
You know what though? GTAs and obviously Red Dead, they all just merge into one for me. And I never think, this is terrible. I just always think like, it's good, but the game is so good.
It's the fact they crammed so much into that game and it still looks great. I think that's
I was actually thinking, when you were talking about maps and having more in, I was thinking GTA and Red Dead actually nail that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, that is true.
They have a lot going on in the maps. They have good size, and it always feels like you could do something.
Yeah.
Whereas there's so many games you're playing now where you're like, oh my god, I can't do anything in this area.